What's going on, everybody? As promised, a recap of our leveling guide, levels 11 through 15, essentially, for Nightmare, Friendly Fire, difficulty. All right, it's basically, to put it simply, just a well-enhanced version of what we already had all the way back at level 5. I basically set the foundation for my party build, and then just worked from there, okay? And added a lot of bricks to the walls, and then a roof on the house. And this build is kind of coming into its own. Okay, notice, the same key abilities. Grappling Chain, to pull enemies away from my squishy targets. Mighty Blow, do extra damage to enemies once they're knocked down. Take care of mobs, knock them flat on their ass. And then, probably my favorite passive ever, Coup de Grace here. 30% damage bonus to enemies that are stunned or knocked down. Which is pretty much all enemies all the time. That's what I have my party geared towards, is stunning and knocking down enemies. As well as weakening them and so on and so forth. But, anyway, like I said, it's not... too far removed from what we had at level 5, just enhanced with a lot of good passives and upgrades and stuff like that. I've seen a few other passives that I'd like to have in the future. We'll get some extra points here. Finally unlocked Rampage with my last skill point at level 15. That gives me my Berserk ability here. Very effective against mobs. In fact, I'm considering with this build keeping my Mark of the Inquisitor perk on one hand, and then keeping Berserk on hand on the other, so... depending on if I'm fighting single targets or mobs. With mobs, Rampage is just crazy. And I don't even have these two passives, which are just gonna blow this build up. This build is gonna get ridiculous. Extra attack speed, extra movement speed, extra damage, depending on enemies that are dead around me. So it's basically stay in the middle of it, alright? And stay busy, stay hurt a little bit, and do extra damage. It's great. I will probably also pick that extra perk there under the Mark of the Inquisitor tree because you can build bonus focus. I'm already wearing a superb belt of focus, and I'm planning on maybe putting another belt of focus on at least one of my other party members also, should I find one, just to build more party focus altogether so we can use our specials or supers a lot more often. Now with Varric, essentially all I've done is spent all of his points in his spec tree. I don't even activate the mines because they trigger friendly fire. Okay, they're probably more likely to kill us than the enemy. But all of his passives are just sexy. I mean, not only do they give him great dexterity and willpower bonuses and stuff like that, but they benefit the entire party. Extra critical chance, extra status effect, damage, all kinds of good stuff. I mean, it's great. Cassandra is essentially the same. I did upgrade her challenge so she can have more stamina, because I'm asking her to use more abilities than she was previously, but she's able to essentially spam them. They're always ready for her, so she's doing her job well. I have her assigned to be a tank. And this right here, forget that Reaver ability. I'm going to call this the Ring of Pain. You do extra damage as long as you're inside that ring, and she loves casting it. I don't even have it favorited with her. I don't have to. She casts that all the time on her own, and it's beautiful. And she gives the entire party damage resistance, bonus damage. Here's, 10% damage bonus against all demons. And then this right here, if she goes down, she gives 50% damage bonus to the party while she's knocked out. Come on, man. That's just not even fair. It's just not going to be fair. All right, and Vivian, kind of same story with her. Her basic skill trees are roughly the same from what they were at the level 10 build. But I've given her most of her points in her specialist tree also. And hers is just as overpowered as Cassandra's is. Not only do all of her passives just rock, her barriers are stronger, they take longer to go down. But then she has this resurgence ability. Watch all of her health bars. Boom. Had any of us been knocked out right there, we'd be instantly raised too. Okay, so, and I have her favorite that, and I let her just use that whenever she feels like, and she does a great job with it. She uses it when we need it. She keeps us on our feet, and if we do go down, she immediately gets us back up. And, keeping barrier on us. And like I said, I don't ask her to do too much. I don't ask her to be a healer and an offensive mage and an assassin and a tank and a blah, 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 and this and that. I ask her to keep us on our feet and lay down her share of the damage, and she does that perfect. And so I'm going to come in here, and all these are level 15, okay? This is a level 15 Fade Rift, so it's right here with us. No potions, no tonics, no pause, no whatever. Well, I think I do pause one time to let her cast Dispel on some minor minion or something. But other than that, we're just going to go through and go with the flow of the combat here and let everybody do their job. And I think you'll see here, there's actually, this should pop up a Revenant and one of these little screechy icicle lip guys. And go ahead and hit my rampage. Now this, okay, now being in Berserk mode here, it'd be much better to be in a mob, because for every enemy you hit, you get health back for hitting them. You're basically doing health steal, okay? On this one single target, I'm not pulling enough health off this Revenant to justify the damage I'm doing, alright? So I couldn't take him out first. But not having to pause and not having to worry about it, notice Vivian immediately does her job and gets me right back up, hits me with barriers so I can finish off. Alright? Everybody doing their thing, and that's kind of the point I've been trying to make up to this point, really seeing it kind of come to a head now, is as long as everybody's doing their job, you can pretty much get away with anything. Anything, anywhere. Now, if we had, you know, Mighty Offense tonics activated, throwing a few jars of bees here or there, some Antivan fire, you know, this type of stuff, then that just, of course, you know, you can wreck shop with all that stuff. But I thought just for example's sake that I would come in here and just do this bare bones. And you can see everybody doing their job the way they're supposed to without having to tell them to. That's really kind of the whole point, is you can get that good synergy with the party where everybody's supporting one another. And it's a lot of fun to me. I love a good party build that works solid like it's supposed to.
Is even terrain too much to ask for?
Is there a problem?
Well, you might be used to traipsing through the countryside, hunting dragons, interrogating people, or whatever it is you did before this. I'm from the city.
No, I love Cassandra and Varric. They actually like each other. They're actually buds. Secretly buds, right? Alright, now, here's another variation on my party. I actually prefer this. Now, I need to have a rogue around to pick locks, obviously, and stuff like that. And, of course, Varric's passives are nice to have in the party, but I honestly prefer a one-tank, two-mage party. That seems to work the best, because everyone really complements each other really, really well. But like I say, 6 of one, half dozen of another. Having an extra mage around means you just have more barrier and more revivals at your disposal. Okay? Now with Dorian, he has this cool weaken enemies thing with this terror thing that he pops off. I need to put quite a few more points in his spec tree. All this is good stuff. I'm not really worried about those abilities down at the bottom, believe it or not. But these up here are really nice. And his passives are great. And haste, well, it doesn't speed up the party and make you run around like a hamster on coffee like I really like, you know, from Dragon Age 2. But it does basically stop all the enemies in their track and let you get in a lot of free hits on them. So it is what it is. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up between Dorian and Solus. They're both really effective, but Vivian's a beast. She really is. Even without her arcane warrior thing that she does, whatever, with her magic lightsaber and all that. Even without that. Now, Blackwall, he does that line in the sand thing. That thing really gets on my nerves, honestly. More than anything else, I like to move around some, and I wind up running into these obstacles that he sets up probably more than the enemy does. So I'm probably going to deactivate that for him, be one less thing he has to worry about. But I will be getting all of his passives going also. And he does have some interesting abilities down there at the bottom. I haven't really played with them much. I'm not there yet, obviously. All right? And then Solus, his setup is essentially the same. There's some more stuff that I want to get for him in his regular tree. A lot of the passives in the lightning tree, I want to get for him. They look really, really tasty. One more passive in his ice tree also. But this, that's like an AoE punch from the heavens right here. This Veil Fist or whatever that he's got. And his passives just complement this. Anything he weakens, all of his passives basically enhance their weakened state. And so it's like this, it's a really quick flash. It's this little ring of pain that he drops down on their heads. And it affects them for a period of time. And then all of his passives complement it. It's beautiful. Both of his active abilities in the specialist tree, sadly enough, do friendly fire. So I won't activate those. But his passives and that Veil Strike or whatever it's called, that's good enough. It's good enough for me. And then go over here. I can show you. Dorian, I hadn't set him up yet, right? So this is how I set all of my characters right here. All of my followers follow this exact same pattern right there. They target my main character, all right? Keep one potion in reserve. That doesn't really matter. It's whatever. Okay, and then here's all the tactics. these guys. The X's, the ones that I have completely deactivated, that I don't let them use on their own. And the favorited ones are the ones I want them to use as soon as they're ready. Okay? The cool thing is haste and revival are two things that are situational. Only if somebody's knocked down and only if he has enough focus to cast haste. Everything else he can pretty much spam. He has plenty of mana pool to do so. I need to get him some passives to upgrade his mana regen, all that stuff also. And you know that'll be 15 through 20. But this is kind of like the roof on the house, so to speak, for the party build. And now it's just dressings. Now it's just all window dressings. Hang some drapes, put down the carpet, you know, really dress things up and fine tune it the way I want it to. And we'll also look towards once we get into the 20s. Really equipping everybody for in-game. You know, finding armor that specifically fits exactly what they're doing. Weapons that are specifically catered to exactly what they do. Hopefully put key perks that are particular to a kind of ability that they use, or something that fits the job that I have them assigned to do. So here we have this party, a version of it doing its thing. And the key here is having two mages. It's almost constant barrier. See, before the barrier's even gone, here we go, type of thing. Of course, actually, right there, I believe that was Vivian casting maybe her special. It's possible. So you can kind of come in a little more, I guess you could say, careless. Just go in with both your eyes closed, swinging your sword as hard and as fast as you can, and just do your thing. And, you know, in the case of this build, as soon as you get your focus built up, go berserk mode, you know? And just have fun with it. Like I said, I don't have to dictate, oh, mage, you stand over here, oh, rogue, you stand over there, oh, Cass, you cast this and you do that at this particular thing. You don't have to do all that. There's no pause, and it's a lot of fun for me. All right, and so there you go. If you want to subscribe, hit that button over my head for all the videos. Click the boxes on the left. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.